Good morning. This is the recommending committee of March 17th, 2025, and it is officially called to order. And are we in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. And item number 3 is reserved for public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. Is there anybody that would like to speak? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to item number 4 for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the February 3rd, 2025 recommending committee. And I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
There's a motion. Please vote. And please post.
I don't know what happened to my screen, but I'm an aye.
Okay.
Yeah, you voted.
I did?
On my screen yet. Did you not vote?
Nope, but it's okay.
Weird.
I'm voting now. Aye.
And moving on to that does pass. Item number 5 is bill number 2025-1 for possible action amend Title II of the Las Vegas Municipal Code by adding Chapter 2.70 to establish the Youth Leadership Advisory Council, sponsored by Councilwoman Olivia Diaz, Councilwoman Francis Allen Polinsky, and Councilwoman Nancy Bruni.
There you go. Steve Ford, Deputy City Manager. So this is a ordinance for the Youth Advisory Committee, and I've asked Dr. Malich to come in to answer any questions you may have.
Dr. Malich? Would you like to say anything? I'll have some questions, but.
Okay. So I guess I would just offer that this concept has been brought up multiple times over my time at the city by multiple offices, the mayor, multiple city council offices, in how we more actively engage our youth in civic engagement opportunities. You all know that we do several things on our team, from Great American Awards to recognizing high school students that are doing We the People, and the name just left my head. But during their civic engagement. And so this would be an opportunity to have a standing committee, similar to our YNAP committee. All of you make nominations, but that's kind of a one and done situation where kids get to come up on the dais and comply with open meeting law and see the whole formal meeting and how that works. This would be an ongoing committee that it will allow youth to advise or weigh in to you on any youth-related matters, but it also, similar to youth legislature, requires them to function as an organized arm of city council, provide an annual update to you, engage with you, and then make a recommendation in groups on a resolution or an ordinance that they could then present the winning one to you. So it allows youth to go through this process in a more formal way, hoping to educate our future leaders and maybe interest some of them in city government, local government, or state government. So that's what I would offer to you.
Thank you. I just have a few questions. I'm
Sure.
reading through the bill. Can you just, for the record, say, is there a minimum number of times they're going to meet? I'm going to ask a series of questions. So
Minimum number of meetings?
minimum number of times they're going to meet?
Yes. The plan is to meet every month during the academic year, but in the resolution, minimum number of meetings would be 5 per academic year.
And your department, Youth Development and Social Innovation, is the one that will be facilitating the meetings with them?
Yes, sir. I would have a staff member on my team that would oversee. They would not be a voting member, but we would work with the clerk's office and the city attorney's office because it would be an official meeting, but we would oversee this.
And then would your team work with them on developing an agenda?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what type of items do you think would be on the agenda?
So we would be reviewing city council agendas, future agendas, to have them go through and kind of become familiar with that process, and then give any input or thoughts on how any of those items might relate to youth or intersect with youth. And then we would also be working with them to establish their governance, their rules and bylaws, and then once that's up and running, work with them on what resolutions and ordinances are and how they might work together on an area of interest, and that would kind of be their culminating activity each year.
And then you mentioned they'd be presenting to the council on an annual basis?
Yes.
As like an agendized item on their recommendations?
They would submit to council an annual report of all of the things that they've accomplished and their future plans and ideas. And then they would also present through me any input or feedback for council to consider on any youth-related matters on an ongoing basis.
And this is mostly juniors and seniors,
Freshmen through seniors.
freshmen through seniors.
They could continue on in their college years, as long as by resolution they're appointed as a high school student, then they could finish out their term early college as well.
Okay, those are my questions. I'll open it up to anybody else.
So, I'm just a little perplexed because my council members last month ago talked about the committees and the engagement, and it's a simple waste of time and waste of the city's funds. So I believe the creation is a youth advisory council is undoubtedly well-intentioned, but it's outside the city core function and purpose. Numerous established nonprofits across the valley are already dedicated to fostering the next generation of leaders with their programs. So rather than duplicating efforts, forming another council, the city would be far better served by partnering with these organizations to strengthen their impact and support youth leadership initiatives that are already in progress. This collaborative approach would be more efficient and effective in meeting the young needs of people in our community. So rather than, use city resources, I think we can do better by collaborating with other nonprofits. And for this reason, I'm going to be voting no.
Can I respond? Or can I respond?
Yes.
So one thing I would like to offer is, as far as our core function, we do have my department, which is Youth Development and Social Initiatives. So the department is part of creating youth leaders and supporting that process. We do partner, as you've mentioned, with a lot of our nonprofits and experts in other areas, but I don't feel like any of them are well positioned to educate youth on what city council does, what our council offices do, the engagement that each of you have. I don't know that anyone knows that work as well as you guys know that work because you are in it. So while they may have an idea, they still have an idea from the outside. And as you know, many adults don't even understand if they're in Clark County or North Las Vegas or Las Vegas, maybe North Las Vegas versus Las Vegas, but they don't even understand.
So maybe a collaborative effort with the entire county and North Las Vegas, but to have this as just a city committee, I think that it's, anyway, I've heard from my colleagues that they don't engage with committees, and I just feel like it's a waste of resource. It's not in our purview, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you've done. However, I think there are more important things that we have a crisis in. And so this would be great as a collaborative effort with all of our other jurisdictions, perhaps. Thank you.
And just to note, some of our jurisdictions do also do this work. So like Henderson has a youth advisory council, and North Las Vegas also has one.
Maybe we should do it collaboratively.
Any questions?
Just a comment. Thank you, Dr. Malich. Thank you, Chair. Feed and watering our youth is so important. And when I look back at my long-term tenure in elected office, I go back to 2007 when I had an intern in my office at the State Assembly in the legislature in Carson City, and her name was Nicole Malich. And after her time serving as an intern, she later went on to law school, and now, very proudly, for me, is a deputy district attorney across the way. This youth legislature, our internship programs are critical in fostering the growth of our young people in the city of Las Vegas. I'll be voting in favor, and if the chair is ready, I'm happy to make a motion.
Good.
I'd like to move forward with no recommendation, number 5, bill number 2025-1.
There's a motion.
I don't have a screen up here, so I would be it's moving forward with no recommendation, no.
That item passes. Moving on to the only thing that I really need to do is read this. If this is moved out of committee, bill number 2025-1 is eligible for adoption at the city council meeting of April 2nd, 2025. And that moves us to item number 6, citizen participation. Anybody that would like to speak in public comment? Are you sure you want to come up?
Oh, me, no, not me.
It's public comment, you can, anybody can.
On any topic.
No, thank you.
Okay. Hearing and seeing nobody else in the room, then we can adjourn today's meeting. Thanks, everyone.